Good morning. I see somebody in there. I'm going to be chopping vegetables in a minute. I'm just trying to get my phones ready here so that I can see the chat while I'm chopping. This is usually kind of a lonely activity, but hopefully somebody will come in and chat with me. There aren't usually a lot of chats on Thursday morning, and I can see why nobody's on. Everybody's busy doing their homework, housework. I can't find my live. Did I make it private? No, there I am. Okay, it's public. Good morning. I see somebody on there. Oh, that's me on my other channel. Okay, we've got this one. Now I'm going to set this phone. I hope I don't just have myself to talk to this morning. Maybe somebody will come in. Hi, Explorador. Good morning. I'm going to be chopping vegetables here in the morning, and I mean in a bit. I'm just getting my other phone ready here so that I can. What are you up to this morning other than cruising the net? I love taking a cruise or watching your videos going all over the place. Good morning, Jeffrey. Welcome in. And Soccer Kid. Okay, we've got two ready with the chat. I'm going to start my chopping. So yesterday I went to a food bank, and this particular food bank belongs to a group of 3 churches, and can you see me okay? And they have a garden, and they use their garden to fill up their food bank. And so I like to go whenever the temperature is lower than 80, and yesterday was in the 70s, and stock up my freezer. Although my freezer is dying a slow death. You're in Australia. Do you live there or are you visiting there now? Oh, you live there. I hope it wasn't the Wisconsin State Fair. It got shut down early because of the rain. They actually flooded. It barely flooded anywhere else in the city, other than my basement and the state fair, and shut down the state fair, which is sad because a lot of people like to go. They missed out on a lot of business on Sunday. Although I will say I'm happy to have my internet back. One thing about living so close to the Wisconsin State Fair is that when it's in session, there is no internet because everybody in the state fair is using it. Why they would use the internet while they are at the fair, I'm not sure I would do that. You're in Brisbane? I'm not real familiar with Australia, but I do like watching videos from there. It's a beautiful country. So you have state fairs in Australia too, huh? Was the state fair for your own state? to see what your state fairs are like. Here in Wisconsin, our state fair, we have like major acts, and they have local acts on stage, and then of course they sell all kinds of tchotchkes, and then they have the cows and the pig races, a giant slide, and then they have a thing where you sit on a chair and you ride across the top of the state fair. I went on it once, and then like the next day or later that day, it got stuck, and people were stuck in there in 90-degree heat up above the state fair. And they weren't just stuck for an hour or so, it was a long time. So I grabbed this great big one because I saw somebody on YouTube they made an apple pie. It wasn't an apple pie, it was actually a zucchini pie. And they've been doing it for years and passing it off to their family as an apple pie. I thought that was kind of funny. So I got that with the idea of making an apple pie, but then I thought about it, and I think I'm just going to chop it up into little pieces and just make myself a little tart. So I'm not going to be able to eat a whole apple pie, and nobody else here will eat it. But I think that's going to be pretty seedy. I'm just going to chop it into small enough pieces that I can chop in, that I can toss into my soup. Oh, wow. So is Brisbane in the state of Queensland? Oh, so you're at the end of your day in Australia. I'm just starting. It's morning. My plan was to clean out my locker because the basement flooded and they had a cleaning crew come in yesterday. But I went down to check on them late last night and they were still going strong. I'm thinking I'm going to wait until this weekend to clean my locker. And I think I'm going to toss most everything except for my walkers, which I will probably end up needing. So keep an eye on my zucchini here. I'm going to walk over and get a spoon. Welcome in, Bud Files. Oh, Brisbane is the capital of Queensland. Oh, wow. Yeah, I usually do my lives in the middle of the night while I'm sleeping. I'm trying to make it more interesting. I recorded a video that I want to play while I'm sleeping in a loop, and I'm working on how to do that. But I'm taking the seeds out of this. This is a zucchini. And I think I might puree them and then freeze them in an ice cube to put into soup. Or I might just dump those into my compost. My freezer is pretty full already, and then I got all this to put in there. And my freezer isn't really working the greatest. I did get a note from the landlord yesterday saying that he found a refrigerator for me and is trying to arrange a drop-off. I was going to go to the farmer's market today, but I actually don't have room and I don't have time to chop it, so I think I'm just going to chop what I got. I mean, this is better than going to the farmer's market anyway. This is all beautiful produce that they freshly picked from their garden. And they just gave it to us. And when I left, they had boxes full yet. I don't know what they're going to end up doing with it. They're probably tossing it because it won't be good by next week. Although there are 3 churches involved. So what are you up to today, Bud Files? How did I miss all those seeds? Ah, look at this. Can we find? Oh, there we go. Okay, see what I did? This is the bucket I was putting the seeds in, but I put the good pieces in there. And when I went to get my spoon just now, I went to the wrong drawer. So I guess the senility has started. See, one of the things I wanted to be able to do is make everyone a managing moderator, so when you come in, you can connect easily. But just people I know. Okay, this way, if somebody clicks on your link the next time you speak on any one of my lives, even future lives, people will be able to go directly to your channel and subscribe. So I'm pretty sure you're all familiar with TuberChat, because that's pretty much where I find most of my people that I subscribe to. And TuberChat or The Source. I've met some people on Down the Road. When he goes live, he sets it up so you can connect. Mimi's Abundant Life used to do that. I don't know if she does anymore because I keep missing her lives and catching the replays. Please double tap the screen so that I can get your like. I know this is boring. It was mainly I'm on here to chat. Welcome in, whoever is lurking out there. So I was just saying our state fair was shut down. On Saturday night, we had quite a rainfall. And Sunday was supposed to be the last day. And that's usually the free day for veterans, and it's usually very crowded anyway. But they had to close it down because the rain had flooded it. People on Saturday night were going to their cars and finding they weren't quite underwater, but they had water up to about the middle of the door. So if they would have opened their door would have been flooded and they wouldn't have been able to get out of there anyway. And in the park, the State Fair parking is on grass. I've parked there several times. Oh no, I got my hair. So anyway, I've got all these veggies from the food bank that I went to yesterday, because they have a farm that they share with 2 other churches that have food banks, and they had just boxes and boxes of food left even after all of us went through it. And barely anybody came. I thought it was going to be much more crowded because of the flooding and a lot of people had to toss out food, but even the regulars, most of the regulars weren't there. They were closed last week because of the state fair. It's about a block from the state fair. And the state people that go to the state fair end up parking on those streets and on people's yards. So I'm going to chop this up and get it in the freezer so I can use it for my soups. Most meals I eat soup because I'm just too lazy to think of anything. Sometimes I actually cook something. And I do plan to make some tofu, but I don't think I'm going to do it today. I might wait till tomorrow. Can't wait too long or my lemon's going to go bad and I won't have anything to curdle the milk with. But one thing about food bank food is you want to get it chopped and frozen right away. So Bud Files, where are you located? Is anybody into gardening? I'll watch for you, Exploradora. I was thinking of videotaping this, but I think it's boring enough for a live, huh? I got quite a bit yesterday. The first thing they came out with was a box of pineapples. And I grabbed one of those right away because pineapple is a good anti-inflammatory. I don't know if it freezes well. I don't think I've ever kept one long enough to freeze. Boy, this was a nice big one. They had bigger ones too, but let's get the seeds out of this. I wonder if you could save those and plant them. I've never tried that. Has anybody ever saved seeds from a big yellow squash or a big zucchini? This is one of the reasons that I don't grow squash because they always give so much away. And I mean, they literally had boxes of this stuff left over yesterday. I'm hoping they had another food bank to take it to. I don't know where the other food banks are, but they aren't in our city. I think these bigger pieces I'm going to put into a different container. And I'll use those for my apple flavored zucchini pie. I mean, zucchini is bland and it'll take on the taste of anything, so I can see where it might work. Create and Relate, good morning. How are you? Oh, I'm sorry you can't chat. I haven't seen you on in a while. I've been looking for you, and then when I do, all I find is videos that I've seen before. These bigger chunks like this, I chop them up and throw them in the blender because they won't break down before the end of the summer. It's almost over with. The tomatoes finally started ripening, and yesterday I didn't pick any, but I picked a lot the day before that. In fact, I haven't been out there to water yet. What am I thinking? Wow. I should have known this would be mostly seeds. Somehow I was thinking I was going to get some big chunks of yellow squash. I should have just got more of the smaller ones. So many of the people there don't want the fresh vegetables. They're hoping for a pizza because they don't want to cook it. But it's really not that hard to cook. Well, you could almost make something and fill these, I suppose. Maybe I'll save one of these big chunks and make up something with veggies and rice and sauce and bake it. Or veggies and beans. Maybe not today though. It's funny watching this and watching the screen because it's a little bit delayed. Oh, those are some big seeds. I wonder if I dry those and I could plant them if I get a zucchini. But I don't think I need to because there isn't really enough room out there. And the food bank has so many of those. I won't need to go to the food bank next week because I've got so much food here. Even if I eat soup for every meal and I use a cup of vegetables for every bowl of soup, it's going to take me a while to use this all up. And I'm just hoping that my freezer lives long enough for him to replace it. I know he's busy right now with the cleanup. He owns 3 buildings on this street, so it's not just our building. I don't know if ours was the only one that flooded or not, though. I talked to a couple people when I was walking the dog, and their basements did not flood. This basement, I've lived here for 25 years, and this basement had Oh, okay. I didn't check yesterday because I was at the food bank most of the day. I was online for a little bit. Once I got home from that, that's so much work going to a food bank. I know it's silly, but I'm 74, so it's so much work. I end up coming home and falling asleep. Because this particular food bank, you have to get in line 2 hours before they open. So I've gotten to know many of the people there, and my dog has gotten to know a lot of the people there. So I have plenty of people to talk to while I'm waiting and catch up with. Most of the people in line are in the same boat as me. I mentioned that I had $8 left in my checking account and I don't get paid till the 3rd. And one woman said she's in the same boat, but she's got $3 left because she just bought her kids new school shoes. Well, now I can see why people don't take these big zucchinis, because they're mostly seeds, and big seeds at that, which I don't think I'd want to eat. I'll have to go look for that Create and Relate. I haven't run your playlist in a while either. You probably have other things on that. I kind of got messed up with it. I keep getting so many new people, but I do have 3 devices to stream on. And I will usually run 3 playlists before I go to bed. But I started keeping a record of it on each phone so that I can keep up with where I am on everything. I do have enough subscribers at this point. I really need watch hours though. I guess people are getting bored with my chopping. I thought it would be more fun to be live, that I'd have people to chat with. Nobody wants to chat with me. Oops, I got to remember to do the claw so I don't cut my finger again. And I just began. Now I have green beans, a big pineapple, a big bucket of kale, 3 green peppers. I think that's it to get chopped today. So I'm going to be here for a while. Hi, not Seth Rogen. I hope you're having a great day. I hope everybody's having a great day that's on. And this is usually my busy time to get things done, and I don't usually videotape it while I clean. Around 2 o'clock, I run out of energy and I crash, and I usually end up falling asleep for an hour or two. Or I spend time on the phone. I'm pretty bad. Once I get on the phone, I end up on the phone for hours. So I had 1 green zucchini and 2 yellow squash. I've got some big pieces, but I think I'm going to chop them up small. And if I do I think I'm making an apple tart of some sort. I have celiac disease, so I have to be gluten-free. So I may just use some oatmeal for crust and then put a little topping on it. But make the, I think brown sugar, cinnamon, and water. I'll cook the zucchini in and then put that in there and bake it in my air fryer. Because it's too doggone hot this time of year to be turning that stupid oven on. I want some crackers, but I'm not too sure I want to today's only in the 70s, but I don't know if you can hear it. I do have the air conditioner on. We have the kind that goes in the wall here, so it's a little on the noisy side. Well, this is pretty full, but I still have all of this. I'm going to make it fit. I think I am going to pull a seed out and just try it. I don't have any place to really grow it out. And it's probably too late in the year too, but this is a nice plump one. I'm going to save that one, and well, if I'm going to plant one, I might as well do 2 or 3. If it grows, I'm just going to have to compost it, but I'll know whether it grows or not. The next time I get one like this that's this big, I'm going to make some kind of a filling with those peppers and maybe some lentils and rice. And I wouldn't have to put a whole lot of veggies in it because, and onions and garlic, it needs of it. But I don't want to put a whole lot of veggies in it. Put mostly lentils in it because this is more than a serving of vegetables by itself. But those are some big seeds. I wouldn't want to be eating those. I hope everybody has a wonderful day, and I do thank you for being in there, just for your support. If you don't want to talk, I can understand. I think I'm going to save this and actually put something in it for my lunch later. I haven't decided what I'll make. I do plan on making some lentils. I have some beans. They were supposed to be, it was kind of like this with a tomato sauce in it. And I don't like the generic ones, but if you rinse them off, they're still good. Wow, I filled that up with seeds. Just from those 3 zucchini. Now, what should I do next? I want to soak beans in this to make tofu. Well, no, maybe I won't. I think I need a drink of water. And I don't think I need these big pieces to be big pieces. I'm going to chop them up small. I wish I could chop like some of the chefs do, where they just kind of whack, 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 whack. But I'm not that good at chopping, and I prefer a dull knife. I've cut myself with too many sharp knives. If I slip with this, at least if I hit my skin, it's not going to go through. So does anybody have any great plans for today? So has anybody tried the Suno app? Somebody else has one called something like Suno, and she did a bunch of recordings with it. So I check that one up, and just before you even sign up for it, they let you create songs. You can't really use them for anything, but I'm trying to come up with a theme song for my channel. And the first one I did, I just wrote the title of my channel, Broke but Bountifully Blessed, and they made a song, and it was kind of neat, except it was more for a farm, because they were talking about shoulder to the plow. But I liked the song, I liked the music, I liked the singing, and I probably, if I ever get a chance to monetize, that's where my money's going. I'm going to sign up. It isn't very expensive. The Suno one is a little less expensive. I tried signing up for their free trial, but when I hit this, I filled out the whole form, and I spent quite a bit of time doing that. When I hit subscribe, it was like nothing happened. So I must have missed something. Because I'd like to try the free trial for a while first. So that's my first thing I want to do if I ever monetize, is pay for that. And it's less than $10 a month. I think it was $8.99 a month. Where this other one, the first one's, I don't know what it's called. That first one is about $20 a month. But it's only $80 a year. So that's less than $10 a month if you buy the year package. But I think you can only use the videos that you put it in while you're a member. So if anything happens and I stop being a member, I'd have to take down all those videos. So This ought to make me a lot of soup and apple flavored zucchini pie. Let me get this in the freezer while it's done here. I'll be back, as if you care. I got all these tomatoes there yesterday. I ate about 6 of them while I was standing in line. And I picked these yesterday. But those are microdwarf tomatoes, and I'm going to just save the seeds on there. I have a lot of seeds. Gail from Gail Southern Living and I are hosting a collab. And I will send 3 seeds to people who make an entry video. I think I'll do these next. I like little chunks of green beans in my soup. And this is for my ends. Basically, it's going in my compost. Everybody's so quiet. I see there's a lot of lurkers there, but nobody's got anything to say. I could use a knife for this, but this is easier. Uh-oh, green bean went flying across the table. Let's move this over a little bit so you can see what I'm up to. I thought I washed the, oh, those are spots that don't want to come off. I'll have to put that part in the compost. I like green beans, but I don't like them so much all by themselves, but I do like them in my soup. I guess I just like everything in my soup. I pretty much like soup, and many days I will eat soup for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. In fact, most days I do that. In the winter, I cut up my canned green beans like this. And freeze them in an ice cube tray to add. They had quite a few of these left when it was over. Hopefully the people that were distributing the food got to share it, or maybe they saved it to add to next week's meal. They always, at 1:30, they provide a meal for those of us who are standing out there since noon. I usually can't eat it because it contains meat or milk. And I give the meal part of it to somebody. Well, one of my friends there is 91 years old, and she hopes to find things at the food pantry that are already made so she doesn't have to cook. I could use some of those green beans in my little casserole that I'm going to make to fill up my zucchini boat here. Although it's already going to have green peppers in it and onions. That should be enough for the vegetables, and then some lentils and rice. That should be good. Got something to make a beef flavored gravy without beef, because I can't really eat beef. And for those of you who are doing the keto diet, I did do a similar diet. In fact, I look at it, and I used to do the Atkins diet. And with that, you could eat all of the meat you wanted, but you had to eat a cup of vegetables with every meal. But you could eat all the meat you wanted between meals. So I used to fry up a pound of bacon and eat cold bacon for snacks. And pork rinds, I used to devour those by the bag. Then I got gout, because that's what happens when you eat too much rich food. And gout, if you've ever had it, it is probably the most painful thing that's ever happened to me. And it lasts, the gout attacks that I used to get used to last for weeks. No need to be sorry if you're lurking. How old is your son? You know, a lot of times I do more lurking when I'm watching your live too, because I will be sitting there commenting on videos that my phone watched while I was doing other things. And I have 3 phones that are watching while I'm sleeping. And usually if I'm in the kitchen and working on a project, I'm running lives. There's channels that I support that I would never watch. I'm not into gaming. I do love watching crafting channels and travel channels, like taking tours of cruise ships and seeing the scenery when they're out at sea. So some channels I watch just to watch, but most channels I'm just there to support. But when I'm taking a break and commenting, do I have them all? Oh, no, there's still some in here. Got another handful like this in there. Got quite a few. I just took one handful out of that. They had a huge bag, about the size of a trash bag, filled with green beans. And everybody just walked up and took a handful or two, but they still had so many left when we were done. And there were so many people standing in line at the food bank that didn't want anything to do with fresh vegetables, which I don't understand because that's pretty much why I go there. That one got away. They had some eggplant there, but they didn't look too fresh. Nobody else wanted those either. And I do have eggplant in my freezer that I got from the farmer's market with my food vouchers. I'll be doing that again. I still have $10 in vouchers. And if you go there with your food share, every food share dollar that you spend there, they match. They give you tokens in the office. So the last time I went, I spent $10 of food share and I got $20 worth of tokens for that. Well, not the last time. The last time that I went there, I can understand. I have a son with special needs too. He's in his 30s. I can understand why you haven't been going on then, if he's out of school right now. Sounds like they're emptying our dumpster. It was really full with people emptying their lockers, and they cleaned out the basement yesterday. It's a good thing we had the flood because it was actually getting so full of garbage because people were moving out and they were leaving things they didn't want to be bothered with. Oh, look at that. It's already full of green beans. There, we're done. Almost. These are the last of them. Then I guess we'll go to the green peppers or maybe the kale. I got this big bag of kale. And it had this leaf in it, and I didn't recognize it. It's too soft. Well, they said it's I forgot what they said. I took a picture of it with my camera and tested it with Google Lens. We've got dish soap. You can wash your hands now. Yeah, I miss your lives too. That's always fun watching everybody with their creations. So does anybody know what this is? Can we see it yet? It was in with a bag of kale. There's several of them like that. So we got green beans. I don't know if I should add these to the old ones that I got 2 weeks ago. I don't have very many left. I should probably finish that bag and wash it out and then add it. So add this to a bag and put this in the freezer. Guess I'm going to be eating soup for a while because I got to get moving on this stuff. I've been eating bean burritos, but I'm out of refried beans right now, so guess I'll be eating soup every day for a while. Be back. I'm going to put this in the freezer. I got 3 cucumbers too. I was watching Mimi's Abundant Life the other day, and she was showing some cucumbers that she made into pickles. And I'm thinking I'm going to slice those up and make them into pickles. And I got a big bag of, what is it, cabbage, and it was already chopped. I'm thinking that pickled cabbage would be good. I usually make pickled red cabbage. So a lot of seeds on that, but green pepper seeds aren't good to be germinated. If you're going to take a pepper out of a seed, you want to use one that's ripe, so it should be either yellow, red, or orange. Should probably have cleaned this cutting board in between. I don't know. I don't think cucumber juice is going to hurt my green peppers. What did I do with my other one? Yeah, I'll be happy when your lives come in, but I understand. You've got your hands full. Life happens. I do have some some black olives and some mushrooms, and I can make myself some vegan pizza. In fact, I might do that a little later and videotape it. If I make the crust with beans and then I put pepperoni seasoning in it, it'll taste like a pepperoni pizza with vegan cheese and green peppers, black olives, and mushrooms. I haven't done that in at least a week. Yeah, I got pretty much out of that one little pepper. You know what else would be good is chicken a la king with peppers. I think I have a little jar of pimento in the cupboard too. But I'll make it into chickpea a la king because I don't eat meat. And I'm like deathly allergic to chicken and eggs, which was my favorite thing to eat. It's one thing my allergist told me is it's usually your favorite food, the thing that you think you can't live without that you're allergic to. So that was the first thing he checked. And it came out positive. I'm getting a call, but it looks like it's a scammer. Don't worry, you're not on camera. I have it aimed at my chopping board. And nobody's chatting with me. I'm talking to myself at the moment. I have 4 lurkers. 3 of them are me. So I have about 1/10 of what I need for watch hours. And somebody told me, and I've seen it several times when watching videos on how to improve your channel, that you need to do lives for watch hours. And if you're looking for lives, tomorrow I'll be on live with Gail at Gail Southern Living at, I believe it's 4 o'clock or is it 5 o'clock? I'll have to look. Because I really need to know that for sure. We're going to be talking about our collab. So I've got some things set up where I'm planning to sit while my computer does the live. And show some of my microdwarfs. I transplanted one during this week because it looked like it was dying, and it doesn't look like it's any happier where it is. I think I might have added too much vinegar. I tested the pH on my water, and it turned out to be really high. And I read that vinegar would make it better. Because I don't have the things that they say you need to buy. So I added a teaspoon of vinegar to the 5-gallon, the one that's one of my bottles. I fill a gallon with the solution, and it makes actually 5 gallons of hydroponic solution. I have to add that to 4 times as much water. Or what I did is I used a jar to measure. And I put 1 jar of the solution and 4 jars of just plain water into another gallon. And I use that gallon to fill up my hydroponic jars. Most of my tomatoes inside are growing in spaghetti sauce jars at this point. But I've still got some that I just started seeds in coconut coir in water bottles. And they'll stay in that for a month. I'll just have to turn on some more of my lights. Right now I only have 2 of my lights on. I have 4, and I'm planning to get 2 more. Thinking I might set some up in the living room too, so I might get even more. So I haven't been doing any sewing. So I've got my kitchen table covered with stuff. Right now it's covered with vegetables that I'm going to chop and either eat or freeze. Some of these green peppers I'm going to save to have with my lentils and rice. In my zucchini boat. Oh, I remember. I put the zucchini boat in the fridge in the other container like that. Wow, I still have another pepper left to chop. Besides this one, I'm only half done with. I need to get out my yarn too and crochet some things for my plants to climb on. I've got 2 peppers about this size outside too. I'm letting them go for a while though. They're early Cal Wonder peppers, which will turn red when they get ripe. But I find if I keep picking them while they're green, the plant will keep producing. Once you let a pepper ripen on the vine, the plant will stop producing. So I'm going to wait and let them ripen in October. And the seeds from them when they're ripe can be saved for next year. I'm growing these for, I should probably play this video for survival seeds. Oh no, these aren't. These are from the farmer's market. When I chop the ones that are out there. And I've got a few Roma tomatoes from that, some beets, and some onions from that collab. They sent me seeds. They did send me pumpkin seeds, but I really don't have any room to grow a pumpkin out on my balcony. I should probably put those in a seed giveaway once I learn how to use that wheel from, what app did I just download? StreamYard. There's a little bit of pith on that piece, but that's okay. That's just a little bit. They must have quite a few pepper plants because they had a lot of peppers left over even after everybody went through them. And a lot of the people that normally that wouldn't take the zucchini were at least taking some of the peppers. I might need to soak this one before I chop it. That part's pretty good. This part I need to soak. I'm not going to chop that. And some of this too, it's a little bit on the wrinkly side. So I usually cut it into big chunks and soak it in cold water before I chop it. And if it soaks in cold water for an hour or two and it crisps up, then it's still good to eat. But if it stays wrinkly, then toss it or compost it, because you don't want to eat bad pepper. Believe me, I've tried it before. I've got a lot of stuff that I can't use there. So I have big pieces like this. And these I can tell are going to firm up because they are just slightly wrinkly. When things get really wrinkly, it's kind of hit or miss. Let me get a jar of water to put that in. Whoa, no, quiet, go lay down. Go lay down. Miss Frostina had to get her word in. Apparently somebody is out in the hall making noise. Hopefully they're here to clean again. But I think the people who are working on it also have full-time jobs. So we'll cover these in water. Actually, I think I'm going to let this float on top, because that part is pretty crisp. I could probably chop that part out. In fact, I think I will. I'm going to put this in the fridge for a while. So let's break it up into pieces. Thanks for the support, though. I'll catch one of your lives soon. So I guess it's just me and me now. I'm not going to talk because there's no sense in talking to myself. I already know what I'm thinking. I've still got some green peppers in a bag. I've been avoiding using them because I wanted to save them for pizza. I think if I cook up some lentils, I can use those to make some crackers, and I'm thinking of pizza crust and maybe a tortilla. I think I'm gonna go clean this off. Oh, I still gotta put these in the bag. This bag's been used a few times. I'm spilling them everywhere. So the next thing I have is my pineapple. So this is 2 green peppers and a little bit of piece of a third. I'm gonna give some pepper flavor. I'm gonna start using it in my soups for a while. I'm gonna be back. I'm gonna clean some of this stuff off. Okay, now we got this beautiful pineapple. Hope it's as beautiful inside as it is outside. These were most likely donated by a grocery store that could no longer sell them. And I know one week I got a really nice one, but most of the time they're pretty bad inside once you get inside them. But there's usually some good spots. Uh-oh, this isn't looking too promising. Well, this side looks pretty good. There's still some bad stuff over there. I know I have weird ways of doing this, but seems like I can cut less off of the sides when I do it this way. I think most of this pineapple is going to be good. Wow. Okay. Get this out of the way. Mmm. Wow, that is a good pineapple. It's just perfect. I'm going to eat this whole first chunk right now. Oh, that was so good. This is so nice. Wow. Thank you, Jesus. I don't know who donated them, but thank you. Wow. Oh, wow. I can leave this in pretty big chunks. I'll just eat the frozen chunks. If I keep it in the freezer, it should last me a while. Well, that chunk, I don't know. That one's a little iffy, and I hate to toss it, but I'll have to eat it. It's not good enough to be frozen. Oh, wow. It's so sweet. Well, this end doesn't look any too good. Maybe I'll start working from that end last. this big end. This is the bottom end. Looks pretty good. It's a juicy one too. There's a lot of juice on this cutting board. Mmm. That is so good. Unfortunately, it seems like more of it is not edible than is edible. Because my scrap container has more in it than my good container. Even cutting it this way, I can cut the edges thinner. But in between these little pokey things, you get some little bites. Put those in a bag in the freezer, and then when I want a treat, I can just take one of these out instead of grabbing candy. Get away. Most of this is pretty good. cutting it this way, I get some little tiny chunks of pieces that I can eat while I'm chopping. If I was to just slice the outside, I would be taking bigger chunks and I wouldn't have all this goodness to munch on. Like that big piece. And that little tiny bit. Mm. Those are delicious. See how good that little piece is? I'm not going to save it with all those big chunks. Probably could start another container for those little pieces. I do have a lot of inflammation in my feet today, so this should help. Eating raw pineapple when you have a lot of inflammation is very helpful. I was going to say it's supposed to be, but I do know it is because I've been doing this for a while. Oh, that's so good. Oh, even down to here, we're still seeing good stuff. Oh, check out this pepper they gave me. I took a picture of it and looked it up on Google Lens, and it says that it's a mutant bell pepper that has been crossbred. So I'm thinking it might be part jalapeno because I do know they grow a lot of jalapenos. They haven't had any out there yet. But they do have them at that particular food bank. And I do like to get one or two, but I actually grew a plant this year. Oh, we've got a little bit of a bad spot there. So we are getting towards the bad spot. I might cut this up into smaller chunks once I'm done. Get that one down. But not this tiny. my mouth is starting to get sore from this. I love fresh pineapple, but it's not in my budget for sure. Every once in a while they have them for $1. But I haven't seen that in a while. And I'm really lucky with this one because most of it is good. There is a little small bad spot near the top. And it is down to this slice a little bit. Yeah, I think I'm done eating. I'm going to freeze some of these tiny pieces. My tongue's had enough of it. Some of these tiny pieces I can probably toss in the blender for one of my smoothies. Because they don't seem real fibrous. Ooh, that feels kind of woody here. But this part seems fine. I've seen a lot of people chopping and they leave these spots on, and I don't like choking on that. So. I could probably throw those pieces in the blender, though I hadn't thought of that. This knife isn't very sharp either, but it's the sharpest knife I've got. Well, we're getting there. 2 more slices left here, and I think most of this one slice is going to be bad. I hope I'm not stepping on anybody's live time here, but I think we're getting into the bad section here. Most of that was good too. I wonder, are these pineapple seeds? They kind of look like a seed. I wonder what would happen if I planted them. I think I'm going to have to find out. Just push them to the side. We've got 3 of them here. Oh, there's more over there too. Probably more in there. I know I probably picked this cleaner than most people would, but yeah, these are seeds. I'm going to try planting them and see if I get a pineapple. I wonder if you can grow a pineapple in hydroponics. Well, my scrap container is bigger than my good container. Oh, there's some seeds here. I don't know. I don't need to save any more seeds. I'm not going to keep growing a pineapple. I want to see if they sprout at least. I might keep one growing. Wow. Here we are, the last chunk of pineapple. After that is kale, but I'm going to stop there and let the kale soak in cold water for a while because my son is waiting to use the kitchen. He does his own cooking. And I figure if he can do that, he should be able to get a job. No. I might be wrong. I think I'm just going to keep those in the fridge for a while. Here's the bad piece, but I think I might be able to get some good stuff off of it. It's just this very bottom that's bad. Yeah, just that piece. It's a good pineapple, but I think I need smaller chunks. Oh, there's another bad spot down there. But that part of it is completely good. These two pieces, I cut the bad spot off. Mm. Look at that. Cut the bad stuff off and I still got that nice big chunk. That too. Oops. There we go. That much is still good. Got a bunch of seeds here. I'm going to put all of them in one container and just keep one alive. That'll make a fun video to watch. Maybe. Oh, I'm starting to get battery warnings from my phones here, so I think now's a good time to end. Nobody's chatting with me. Hi, Butler Family Hot Farm. I didn't see you in there. And Paulina, thank you for supporting me. I'll try and do the same for you. Am I subscribed to you? I'll make a screenshot of this so that I can find you after the live. Well, I'm getting the volume control. I don't seem to be high enough. There we go. Now I got a picture so I can come and find your channel and support you also. Well, oh, I've got a whole chunk here that I almost missed. I thought I was done. Well, this is going to last a while in the freezer because I can't eat a lot of pineapple, as you can see. I ate more than I should have today. But I'm going to put this in the refrigerator and finish chopping it in smaller pieces. So I think about the size of chunk pineapple would be just perfect. I usually buy chunk pineapple. I know I do support everybody that I'm subscribed to. And I have a list now so I can get it more organized. Well, I think I have more in my scrap bucket than I do in my good bucket. Here's my good stuff. I'm waiting for it to see in the camera if I can see it. And here's the garbage. They're actually about the same because that one container is a little full. This one's a little on the empty side on the end. But I'm going to put the rest of my scraps in there for my compost. And I think this pepper can hang around a little while. I don't know what it is. So I'm going to call it a day. Thank you to everyone who came in. I hope that was a little more interesting than watching my tomatoes grow. But thank you for watching and thanks for coming in. Have a great day.